The study was filled with the warm glow of late afternoon sunlight filtering through tall, ornate windows. Shelves lined with leather-bound books and rare artifacts reflected Mr. Harrison's lifelong pursuit of knowledge and refinement. He sat behind his massive mahogany desk, tapping his fingers thoughtfully on the polished surface. Wealth had given him comfort, but it had also taught him caution. People often wore masks, and he had no intention of letting his daughter's happiness be swayed by someone's charm alone. His mind wandered to Tom, his daughter's fiancé. On the surface, Tom seemed kind, respectful, and attentive, but Mr. Harrison had learned to read beneath appearances. He wanted to ensure that Tom's intentions were genuine, that he valued character above comfort or status. "Kindness is easy when everything is handed to you," he murmured, staring at a golden-framed portrait of his daughter smiling brightly. "But real character shows when no one is watching." A sly smile crept across his face as he devised his plan. He would step outside his gilded world, shed his millionaire identity, and test Tom in a humble, real-world scenario. Disguised as a scrap dealer, he would present himself as a man of little means, reliant on others' goodwill. If Tom's respect and compassion were genuine, they would shine through, untouched by wealth or prestige. He leaned back in his leather chair, imagining the encounter. Tom, unsuspecting, treating the disguised millionaire as he would any ordinary person. Mr. Harrison's eyes twinkled at the thought of witnessing authenticity in its raw form. This test would not only reveal Tom's true character but also give Mr. Harrison peace of mind. "Tomorrow," he whispered to himself, "we find out who he really is." The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the study, as if nature itself anticipated the unfolding of the subtle, revealing experiment. Mr. Harrison stood, straightened his tie, and headed toward the wardrobe where a plain, worn jacket and cap awaited, the first step in a plan that would change everything. The morning air was crisp as Tom walked down the bustling city street, carrying a paper bag filled with groceries. The scent of freshly baked bread mixed with the distant hum of traffic, and street vendors called out their wares. Tom hummed softly, lost in thought, when a scruffy man standing beside a rusty, rattling cart caught his eye. "Hey, young man," the man called, waving a hand covered in grime. "Could you give me a hand with these?" He gestured to a pile of old metal scraps stacked haphazardly on the cart. His clothes were threadbare, and his face was streaked with dirt, but his smile was surprisingly warm. Tom paused for a moment, glancing around. People hurried past, paying no attention. A flicker of hesitation crossed his face. He wondered if he should ignore the request and continue his errands. But something in the man's tone and demeanor felt genuine, not demanding, just human. "Of course," Tom said, setting down his groceries. He bent to lift the heaviest bundle of metal, and the man laughed. "Not bad. You're stronger than you look." Tom smiled, feeling a strange ease. "Years of carrying heavy boxes at work," he replied. The man's eyes twinkled. "I'm Sam. I deal in scraps, but I like to meet folks like you. It reminds me why life's worth it." Tom carried the last bundle to the cart and wiped his hands. "I'm Tom," he said. "Nice to meet you, Sam." They began chatting as they organized the metal, exchanging light jokes and stories. Tom treated Sam with respect and patience, listening to his stories, laughing at his jokes, and never once looking down on him. Sam, in turn, shared small insights about life, subtly probing Tom's character without making it obvious he was testing him. For a moment, Tom forgot about wealth, status, or expectations. He was simply helping a man in need, connecting with another human being. Sam's laughter rang genuine, and Tom found himself smiling freely, feeling satisfaction not from approval or reward, but from doing something good for someone else. When the task was done, Sam shook Tom's hand firmly. "Thanks, Tom. You're a good man." Tom nodded, unaware that the words were layered with meaning far beyond a simple thank you. That evening, Tom arrived at the Harrison mansion, expecting a casual dinner. The grandeur of the estate, gleaming chandeliers, polished marble floors, and soft classical music, was a stark contrast to the humble streets he had walked earlier. As he was led into the dining room, he noticed Mr. Harrison seated at the head of the long table, his expression calm but eyes sparkling with a secret amusement. "Good evening, Tom," Mr. Harrison greeted warmly. "I hope your day went well." "Very well, sir," Tom replied politely, trying to mask his curiosity. Something in Mr. Harrison's demeanor hinted that the evening held more than just conversation over dinner. After a few minutes of light talk, the butler discreetly handed Mr. Harrison a tablet. He swiped the screen, and a video of Tom helping the scruffy man earlier played, showing every gesture, every smile, every word. Mr. Harrison leaned back slightly, observing Tom's reaction with careful precision. Tom froze as he recognized himself on the screen. "Wait. This is me." His voice trembled slightly with shock. You were the man on the street." Mr. Harrison nodded slowly, a gentle smile playing on his lips. "Yes, that was me, Tom. The man you helped today, the one you treated with respect and kindness, was me, disguised as a scrap dealer. Do you understand why I did this?" Tom's face flushed with embarrassment, then shifted to realization. You wanted to see if I'd treat someone poorly if they had no wealth, no status." "Exactly, Mr. Harrison said, leaning forward, his gaze serious but warm. "I wanted to see if your actions came from genuine character, not convenience or self-interest. And I see that they do." Tom exhaled, relief washing over him, but pride mingled with it. I treated you, just like anyone else who deserved respect," he said, his voice steady now. "Because that's the kind of person I want to be, for your daughter and for myself." Mr. Harrison's eyes softened. He could see the sincerity in Tom's posture, hear it in his voice. The test was complete. The young man had passed. Not for appearances, not for money, but for the simple, unyielding truth of his character. The dining room was quiet for a moment after the revelation, filled only with the soft clinking of cutlery and the faint hum of the chandelier overhead. Mr. Harrison leaned back in his chair, a smile spreading across his face. His eyes, usually sharp and discerning, now held a rare warmth. "You know, Tom," he said, his voice gentle but firm, "people often judge worth by what's in a wallet, a house, or a car. But character is measured by how you treat others, especially when no one is watching." Tom nodded, humbled yet proud. "I understand, sir. I wanted to do the right thing, not to impress anyone, but because it felt right." "That's all I needed to see, Mr. Harrison said, reaching across the table to pat Tom's shoulder. "You've shown me integrity, kindness, and humility. These are the qualities that matter most, and now I can trust that my daughter's happiness is safe with you." Tom's heart swelled with relief. "Thank you, sir. That means more to me than I can say." Mr. Harrison chuckled, a deep, genuine sound that filled the room. "Come, let's have dinner and celebrate not just your visit, but the beginning of a strong bond. Family isn't just about blood, it's about trust and respect." As they ate, laughter flowed freely. Stories from the past, humorous anecdotes, and gentle teasing filled the air. Mr. Harrison shared lessons learned from a lifetime of wealth and experience, while Tom contributed his youthful perspective and optimism. In this simple, unguarded interaction, the foundation for a lasting relationship was laid. By the end of the evening, the walls that often separated father-in-law and son-in-law had disappeared. Tom understood the depth of the test and the value of Mr. Harrison's unconventional approach. Mr. Harrison, in turn, felt confident that his daughter's choice in a partner was wise and true. The night ended with a handshake that lingered longer than necessary, eyes meeting in mutual respect and unspoken acknowledgement. It was not wealth or social standing that mattered, it was the character, honesty, and heart that defined a man. And in that moment, the two men, once strangers, became allies, bound by trust and the promise of family.